Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the Firstpost pole position, where of course we discuss all things Formula 1 and motorsport. Today is an extremely special occasion because we have one of the legends of our sport with us, Formula 1 two-time champion Mika Hakkinen. Mika, welcome to India and
so
welcome
much.
to Firstpost pole position. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
And of course, as usual, we have our F1 commentator Kunal Shah as well.
Thanks.
Thanks Kunal for joining in for this really special chat that we're going to have.
Thank you. It's my honor to be here on the show with Mika as well. And Mika, welcome to India. And I know you're here to promote a social cause, which is to actually never drink and drive. You want to just tell us quickly what that is all about?
Yeah, certainly. But first of all, it is amazing to be live, Facebook Live. And when we met just not so long time ago, I was just wondering how many people watching. Must be
A few million.
Yeah.
few millions.
Yeah.
You have a lot of fans in India, so I know definitely a lot of people are excited to watch this.
That's great, and thank you for watching. And yes, we're gonna speak about why I'm here in India, why I'm here in Mumbai, and I've been a brand ambassador for Johnny Walker for many years, and like you can see in the background, Never Drink and Drive is our campaign. We can talk about during this program about it because it is a fantastic journey what I've been going through for many years with Johnny Walker, and yes, I've been racing such a many years in Formula 1 and different categories. It's great to talk about it, about the safety. It's great to talk about it. Never drink and drive, because it's great to be in control with your car and enjoy driving. But if you drink and drive, you're not in control and you create a massive danger. So it's great to be in Facebook Live.
Yeah, I mean it's great to have Mika because we're actually going to make you join the Pact later on in the show. So stay tuned in, guys. But Mika, I do know from before, given how big a Formula 1 fan I am, this is not your first trip to India. There was a time when Mika was actually going to come and do a road show here in Mumbai many years ago. You want to just tell us about that possible trip that could have happened?
Yeah, it was incredible experience. I did land in Mumbai. This is here quite a few years ago, and landed Mumbai and went to collect my luggage from the belt. And I'm watching television same time and wandering there, waiting. And then I see my bag coming and I keep watching television a little bit and think, what's happening here, And it was quite a sad,
Of course.
sad moment, because I saw the live program happening in Mumbai where there was an attack in a hotel.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, I'm here. And I supposed to stay close by in a hotel
Of course.
where this happened, and obviously I got the advice that way it's better if I continue and I have to leave.
Yes.
So it was a terrible moment for Mumbai and for India, and sad that I couldn't come to see the fans and come to your great country.
Yeah.
Yes.
But now I'm here.
Yeah, and better late than never, as they say. So.
And there are already a lot of fans watching, and in case you have any questions for Mika or you have any comments that you'd like to convey, just put them in the comments below and we'll definitely take them. What have you heard about India? What are you looking forward to? Is there something particular you want to do in India?
It's first of all, it is a big country, massive number of people. Food in India, it's a very famous, and that has been definitely one of my interesting moments to taste different foods, what you're making here, what you're having, and that is a beautiful experience. And the country itself, it is me in this short time when I'm spending here in India, I don't have time to start exploring the country. But what I have been watching documents on the television about India, it has been it's amazing place, and how the people are together, and certainly also the respect what you have for each other here. It is incredible. And what is also quite interesting here in your country and Mumbai is the traffic. I don't think there's many other many other countries traffic what you have here. It's quite.
But since you mentioned you may not have too much time to explore, there are definitely 3 things that I'd recommend to put on your list. So you must see the Gateway of India. Okay, you must go to Marine Drive, which is where your showrun was supposed to happen many years ago.
Yep.
And then you must go to the Bandra Worli Sea Link, which is a bridge that connects 2 ends of Mumbai via water. But the reason why I would want you to check that out is because that's where your former teammate David Coulthard actually drove a Formula 1 car. And it's another thing that he got fined for driving the car too fast, but you should do that. And are you a fan of tea, if I may ask?
Fan of?
Tea.
Oh yeah, I mean I do like it, but there's so many. You know, I've been racing for English team for many years.
Yeah.
Of course.
So of course, the mechanics.
Yeah, it's almost
When
culture.
they have a little break, they're having a tea. So
So you must try the cutting chai in India. That's what it's called. So chai is the word for tea.
okay,
And we'll see if we can get you some of that
Yeah, could be
later. But we're going to now quickly dive into the 2017 season, especially because it's just about ended, and the Brazilian Grand Prix is on the same weekend as you're here, and I'm actually going to be enjoying it because I'm going to be in Delhi with Mika in the F1-inspired Caparo T1. And as soon as I get out of the car, I'm going to be ready for the Brazilian Grand Prix in a lot of ways. So I'm looking forward to the drive with you. But quick views on the season from you. And the reason why I like your views is we finally had somebody challenging Mercedes' might. And we finally had somebody outside of Mercedes challenging Lewis Hamilton. Do you have any thoughts on the Hamilton versus Vettel rivalry?
I think it's been a great year, first of all. It's great, two teams really fighting from the championship, the season started in a very competitive way with Sebastian and with Hamilton, and they were really competing with the championship and competing of winning of the Grand Prix. But then after the break this year, during the Grand Prix season, when they had this break and Mercedes came back, they were really strong.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I don't know exactly what happened. I had some personal ideas, but I don't want to say them because they are more guess. And that's not, I don't like, it's not good to guess. But the Mercedes came very strong,
Of course.
and it was interesting to see how strong Valtteri Bottas was, how strong Lewis was, and what happened to Ferrari, what happened to Sebastian. And yes, they got some mechanical failures, which it was really strange to see that. But end of the day, Lewis did the best job this year.
Of course.
He became a world champion,
Yeah.
and did the great performances. And you know, Valtteri Bottas was very close to Hamilton during the season, but then suddenly he was able to put that extra boost, and he did a good job.
Yeah. You know, as is with our sport, you know, the comparisons have already started with Hamilton, his place among the legends, you know, 4th world title, and the way he won it. Do you think, how would you rate his performance? Do you think, you know, maybe it's time we start talking about him in the same breath as some of the other greater people who bless the sport?
I mean, 4 times world champion. You need, it's not just a luck how you win it. You need a little bit extra there, and he has done a great performance. It needs a lot of physical power. It needs a lot of psychological power. It needs a great teamwork together with the team, and achieve that kind of a result. It really shows that the drive is becoming more and more complete.
Right.
And that's how I see it. And yes, we talked about Michael Schumacher. I mean, he's 7 times.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. So 4 sounds already a little number, and 2 I won it twice. But winning it like twice world champion requires so much energy. So imagine that when you win it 4 times, or 7 times. It's just for me. It's just for me, it's a great respect when you can win it so many times.
That's good humility, I must say, on the show for you. But you know, talking of, you said there are 2 teams that went head-to-head, and McLaren, of course, didn't have the best of seasons. What's your view on McLaren's performance this year? I mean, we all know the number of penalties they got because of engines, but would you rate? What would your view be on their season?
Well, I've been myself when I was in lower categories. I was using Honda Mugen engine,
Of course.
and it was a great engine. Honda has been making great engines for McLaren in the past. You know, Alain Prost was winning, Ayrton Senna was winning, with the unbelievable performance what they did.
Yeah.
But that time when Honda was with McLaren, they were unlimited testing.
Of course.
What they can do.
Yeah.
You know, they were every week testing the car on a racetrack and in a real action. And now these regulations what Formula One has these days, you are not allowed to test
At all.
except the start of the season and some little test sessions during the year. And so to develop the engine, you just develop the engine during the winter inside in
On the dyno.
room like we are in the dynos, and so they're not testing the engine in real life. So it's improvement what the engine manufacturers they can do. They're very tiny during the season. So if it starts in the wrong way in the first place, it's difficult to catch the others.
Of course.
So McLaren has been struggling because they've been having failures in the engine, and it's been taking a long time.
Yeah.
So now, of course, they still keep pushing all the time, developing the chassis and everything. So they start getting better and better results.
Yeah.
And next year they will have a different engine
Yeah.
supplier. So I expecting them, and I believe they're going to do some great results next year.
Would you put your money on them winning races next year?
I think he will always put his money on them winning races.
Yeah, yeah.
He's still so passionate
I'm
about
the brand ambassador for McLaren, so yes, I would.
Yeah,
I'd
same,
think
and I'd love to see that as well because you know there's a great driver called Fernando Alonso, also a 2-time world champion.
that's correct.
And it would be so awesome to see Fernando Alonso right up there. And now, especially since Alonso is widening his horizons, as he finally says so, where he wants to become the world's best driver and not just Formula One's best driver. So, your views on Alonso's talent, his decisions, and the team choices he's made?
I mean, he's a great driver. There's no doubt about that. But to become the best racing driver in the world, and you become a world champion, the times are changing all the time. So what it means, the best champion, what is the best driver? In my opinion, in my days, when I was racing, it's important to be a great test driver, good team player, good race driver, good qualifier, good to work with the media, and take care of your fitness, be very strong in your mind. So the list is long. But today, those same areas are, you know, you have to be best in everything. But now you have also social media.
Of course.
You have to be best also over there.
Yeah.
To have a great content, have a great stories.
Yeah.
Not just to take a picture and be in social media and oh, look how fantastic I am. You know, I think it requires more. So when the people are they actors or the racing drivers or whatever, you need to be best also over there.
Yeah.
To give the fans the right content, give them good information, give them, educate them as much as you can, because you have the experience.
Of course.
And I think that's one area where the stars today can be better.
Yeah. And speaking of stars, you know, one good story that's obviously emerged is the rising sensation of Max Verstappen, you know. What do you make of his young career so far? You know, he's already won so many titles. He's already proven himself to be someone to watch out for.
Yeah, he's a great talent. No question about it. He's young, lot of energy. He's ready to take risks.
Yeah.
He's definitely a driver who we should watch and to see how he will develop. Like I said, you know, earlier, it's not just enough that way you are fast and great racing driver. It requires much more. And this journey, what you go through towards the World Championship, brings a lot of amazing experiences. What you have to cope with, you know, it can be 1 year you have a not so good car. So are you going to tell your team, you're a terrible team, I don't want to work with you anymore. So you have to find all the diplomatic and compromises and to see the big picture and look the future.
And it's good you mentioned about the team because, you know, Verstappen made a lot of noises about wanting to leave Red Bull, and then he's now re-signed till 2020, and I still wouldn't put my bets on him being there till 2020. But that brings me to the next question, which is Daniel Ricciardo, you know, the guy who's made Shui world famous. And do you think he'll have to settle to playing second fiddle to either Hamilton in Mercedes or Vettel in Ferrari or Verstappen in Red Bull? It's such an ironic situation that he finds himself in.
You mean to Ricciardo?
Yes.
I can see his future very good. I think he's a first fantastic driver, first of all, a great personality. But he is against Verstappen, who is extremely fast. So he really has to keep his psychological power very strong. You know, if he starts cracking now, then it's going to be a catastrophe.
Of course.
So he has to work very hard, his mental strength, how to found it, and how to get that. That's what you have to figure it out.
There's one driver I'm you know, going to be looking out for as well. I really love his personality, like you said. And then finally, about the 2017 season, two drivers who you really supported, and they come from Finland, Valtteri Bottas and Kimi Raikkonen. A quick word on how the second half of the season has been for them, because Raikkonen suddenly found pace, but he had mechanical issues, and then Bottas, of course, somewhere along the way, like you said, Lewis went up a gear, and he just said last week that, you know, I didn't know how hard Lewis worked till I actually joined Mercedes. So where do you think they'll be in the next couple of years?
Well, Valtteri keeps developing all the time. We have seen this year his performance has been great, some Grand Prix. But we have to understand that the car what is Lewis is driving and Valtteri is driving, the car has been developed round the Hamilton.
Of course, that's good insight.
Such so many years.
Of course.
It's a tailor-made for him. So to come, Valtteri has sometimes difficulties to get the car exactly like he wants to be, because he's been there already 1 year,
Right,
only
of
1
course,
year there.
yes.
So it takes time to get things right. But I can see his future going to be really bright and really great. And Kimi, he's getting close to 40 years old.
Yeah.
He's getting close to 40.
Yeah.
So he's not a young guy anymore. And you're racing against the guys who are 18, 19, 20 years
yeah.
old. But when you are, you know, when you are getting older and you wake up in the morning and your knees are a bit painful, you know, oh my God, and so it's tough,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So if Kimi is enjoying his career and his driving, that's fantastic. And you don't have to listen to what other people talking. Enjoy what you do.
Of course.
But Formula One is a business.
Yeah. And he's also a delight for Formula One fans because they still love the way Kimi Raikkonen answers his
And
questions.
That's good.
I sort of feel you're giving him the advice that you followed all through your career, which is just enjoy your racing. And as we did, and we must talk about your prolific career here, your rivalry with Schumacher, you know, one of the, for me, that was one of the moments when I was growing up and following the sport that got me hooked to the sport.
Great. That's good.
Yeah, and you know what beats me the most is 1997 European Grand Prix in Jerez, which was your first win, is still being remembered as when Michael drove into Jacques Villeneuve. And you know, it's great you had to wait pretty long for your season, but who would you rate as your most challenging rival? And this could be Formula One or even before that.
I had many drivers who were really tough in my racing career. And if I start in the very first place, when I was around 10, 11 years old, and I was racing go-karts in Finland, my toughest competitor was girl. Who was racing flat out in Finland and beating me, and you know, vice versa. And I sometimes I couldn't understand how great this girl driver was. He had a great lines and amazing talent. But something happened. She went to motorbike racing, fell down a couple of times, so she couldn't continue anymore her career.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
What a shame, you know, great driver. But David Coulthard obviously was a really tough competitor. But number one was Michael Schumacher. He was the toughest one.
And it's great mutual respect because he had said the same thing about you as well, that his most satisfying rival was you and he enjoyed beating you at that point of time. But I read this interesting thing, and in 2008 your house in France caught fire and your trophy cabinet had all the trophies burnt. So
Oh, thank you, remind me.
I was hoping you'd say you have a few replicas though.
Yeah, I mean, I still, it was a terrible day, you know, it was just incredible. I was in Mille Miglia in Italy, driving this fantastic race over there, and I got the phone call at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was my guardian who takes care of the property and the house, and he called me, Mika, the house is on fire. I said, okay, it's the big one. But yes, it is. Oh my God, okay. So I was just told something, little fire there. So no, I flew in a first plane in the morning to back to Nice and went to see the house, which is the big house. It's I think more than 1,000 square meters living space.
Wow.
And of course, all my Formula One trophies are in a living room. Everything burned. The whole house just melted basically. And I had collected many things around the world when I was traveling in Formula One and this and that. So everything burned. It was a very sad day. Very sad day indeed.
Sorry to bring it up again.
Well, it's life. It just, like I said, things happen in life. You never know. So a couple of trophies are saved, and it was an incredible moment.
Right.
So how to find the positive out of that?
Yeah.
So I went to see all the fire brigade guys, I don't know, hundreds of them. I went to say thank you, what you did, and at least the whole house didn't burn. So then I thought, hey, that actually these trophies, they didn't supposed to be in a living room, because you cannot live in a history. You have to live and look the future.
Wow.
And I called the insurance company and said, give me some money, and I want to build my house back. And that's what happened. And now it's even more beautiful than before. I have some trophies, but they're in a garage in storage. And life continues.
And since you said life continues, 2017 you re-signed with McLaren. And given how the whole team management structure is now playing out, Did you at any point of time ever think you'd like to get into team management, especially with a team as iconic as McLaren?
No. Me to be a part of the management? No,
Yeah.
no. I say no. At the moment I say no. You never know, but I say no because it requires massive commitment from your life.
Of course.
Yeah.
It really requires me not to live in Monaco. I would have to move to live in England. I have 5 children.
Yeah.
Youngest one going to be 4 years old. So it would need a massive sacrifice from your private life. Work is great, you know, it's great to work, but if you would need to do too big sacrifices, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
I'm getting close to 50 years old.
Yeah.
So
So,
it-
since you mentioned about commitment, I think we're going to make you sign a pact, which is also a commitment.
Great.
We're going to do it live on the show. So that's the pact that we're going to get Mika to sign. If I may just.
Join.
Yeah, that's a big commitment, guys. We're going to sign the pact as well after Mika decides to do so as well.
Like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, we hope all Indians watching and follow suit, you know.
Yes.
We shall also sign and vow to never drink and drive.
Yeah.
You
Thank
guys
you.
have decided too, please.
We'll do it
thanks.
after.
Decided
Yeah. We're on board. We're on board completely.
Excellent.
Mika, thank you so much. It's been a complete delight to have you here. It's been wonderful talking to you. Kunal, thank you for your time as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you had a great time. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.